Hey guys, Furum here, and today I'm going to be showing you me winning the Ariel Atom V8 at the low tune of 0007 and then testing it in multiplayer. I think this might be the least you've ever had to upgrade a car in a championship to win it in its championship. Now, mind you, it was not very easy, as you will see in this race. I know Ruben M, another Asphalt 8 YouTuber, did this challenge with 0007, and he only beat it by a few frames, so I thought, okay, let's see how I can do it. Will I be able to get a better time than him, worse time than him, the same time? Will I even be able to beat it with this tune? This is the first try that I did in this time attack, and as we will see, it is really the closest time attack that I have ever seen, and I'm not joking. So this car has very good drifting. It has quite quick drift punching, which can lead to some wrecks if you do it too much around turns. So I try to minimize drift punching in this car as much as possible. So we are coming up closer and closer to the finish line, just around 5 seconds left, and it is just around the corner. Now watch the red numbers here, because this is crazy. 0.006 seconds left. That's 6 milliseconds. 6,000ths of a second. Now tell me if that isn't the closest time attack you have ever seen where somebody has in fact passed it. You can bet my heart was beating quite quickly near the end of that race. I got a little bit impatient at that point because I only had the grand finale left and I wanted to finish this thing off. So I bought a set of tires and proceeded to do the grand finale. Now don't worry, I'm not going to show the entirety of 2 laps of this. I'm just going to show the first maybe 20 seconds or so. But I just want to show you that even with such a low tune and low rank, below 1100 with only 7 upgraded on exhaust, you're still faster than the AI cars. As you can see here, I'm catching up to them fairly quickly. That was one thing I had worried about a little bit, if I would actually be faster than the AI cars, but it appeared that I did not have a problem. So now I will cut to the end of the race, because no one wants to watch 2 laps without anything happening. 1097 is the rank of this tune, as you could see there. Now we will see that I have in fact won the car. I have around a day or so left to finish all the challenges, so I'm going to try to get as many V8s from boxes as I can. And of course an ad pops up in the middle of the assembly. Why wouldn't GameLoft do something like that? So let's get to our first multiplayer test of this car. So the Ariel Atom is definitely one of the fastest accelerating cars in the game. Maybe second only to the MP4-8 and possibly the MP425. But the Audi, of course, passes it within the first 5 seconds because it's 80 miles per hour faster at this rank. Yes, 80. Plus, it is overranked by a good bit as well. I'm at 1097, and he's at 1168 or something like that. So there are 3 other cars in this race that are behind me. Let's just forget about the Audi because he's long gone. They are 2 Range Rovers and a DS Serval. Now, those 2 Range Rovers are unboosted and lower ranked than me, but they have nearly the same speed as me. And I'm triple boosted. That should tell you something about just how, well, not good this car is for multiplayer. A whole lot of cars can go faster than 200 miles per hour at this rank, because that is as fast as this car can reach. At Max Pro, it reaches 228 miles per hour, I believe, which is around 7 miles per hour slower than the RX-8, but it does very good against the RX-8 on tracks where nitro efficiency is a big determining factor. Say Tokyo, for example. This car does not have to wag at all the entire race. The RX-8 still beats it, but it's only by around 1/3 of a second or so. So, while I do not believe the Ariel Atom V8 will become the new king of D-Class on any track, it will certainly be a good competitor for the RX-8 on those that require good nitro efficiency. So, we are coming up to the end of the first lap of this race, maybe just slightly pulling ahead of the Range Rovers, but way behind the Audi R8 e-tron Special Edition. Let's see just how much he beat us by. 48 seconds on 2 laps of Riverfort. That's a little bit crazy and just shows how overpowered the R8 e-tron is and how underpowered this car is. Now we have a race against 2 R8 e-trons. I pass them and stay ahead for about 5 seconds, and then they just pass me. And I never see them again throughout the rest of the race. They just shoot off like rockets. So I hope it's fairly obvious by now that this car is basically a trophy car and nothing else, because it is absolutely useless in multiplayer, as you can see from these races. And while it may be a good competitor in D-Class on a whole lot of tracks, it is not a new king on any track. And it requires 68 V8s to Max Pro. Or just Pro, I should say, because the car has no max upgrades. It's just like an F1 car in that respect. So now I guess, with the addition of this car, you can kind of say there is an F1 car in each class. While this car does not really qualify as an F1 car, it basically acts like one in the game. Basically, this car is just not worth using 68 V8s on. This is the highest amount of engines required for any car in the game. Yes, even more than the 60 V8s required for the Arash AF10, which is also a not very good car. So my recommendation is, if you've gone for this car, don't upgrade it any more than you have to win it, and save your V8s for other cars, and try to farm up as many V8s as you can from the championship without spending as many on this car. Because I've actually come out ahead. Even though I've spent, I don't know, maybe around 10 on this car, I've gained more than that through boxes in the championship, I believe, so this car was a good investment for me because of that. So we have come in last place in this race to two much higher ranked e-trons. Yeah, that's not so great. And now we have a race against an e-tron, an SLK Special Edition, as well as a normal M2. This should be quite interesting. So because of this car's very good drifting, I do manage to take the inside. However, one problem with it is because it is a nitro-reliant car, thus I upgrade exhaust, it does not drift very quickly. It slows down to 150 miles per hour or something like that when drifting. So it is advised to not drift a whole lot if you're in this car. Thankfully, you will not really have to drift or wag much, as I like to call it, because of its good nitro efficiency. But around the corners, you just gotta be careful because it will slow down a lot, which is one reason actually why it takes the corners so well. The reason why nitro-reliant cars seem to take corners so sharply is because they're going so much slower when they're drifting. You'll notice this with the Porsche 959, the ED Design Torque, and any heavily nitro-reliant car in the game. Also, the reason all of the nitro-reliant cars have above-average acceleration, like this one, as you can see, is because strong nitro boosts actually increase the acceleration of the car. This is why, for example, the SLK Special Edition starts up just about as fast when you have acceleration tuned up all the way in Elite tuning as if you tune nitro all the way up. And why just maxing acceleration and proing drivetrain and tires on a car will not actually give you the car's fastest acceleration. You have to max pro a car, well, aside from the handling, to actually get the car's best acceleration. Although, keep in mind still that nitro does not add too much acceleration, it just does add some for it to be noticeable in some cases. So the R8 e-tron is way ahead. The car catching up behind us directly right now is, interestingly enough, an SLK Special Edition, who is maybe just slightly lower ranked than me, I believe. For some reason, he was only going just slightly faster than me, maybe 5 to 10 miles per hour. And as we'll see at the end of the race, he's in Challenger League as well. So I think he probably has 0808 in Elite tuning, which greatly decreases the SLK speed at this rank. But even so, he is faster than me and knocks me down because this car is just pathetically slow at its rank. Sure, you will be able to beat cars like Servolts and maybe unboosted Range Rovers and stuff like that, but not any of the more powerful cars, which is actually what you'll see more at this rank nowadays because so many people have them, especially the R8 e-trons, which just kill this car and you have no chance of beating them. Even low-tuned SLKs that have not tuned properly will beat you. Although, interestingly enough, I would have beat him on a one-lap race on this track. So that is practically the only time when this car can shine at all against, say, a low-tuned SLK like that on one lap. So I would say that this car is only worth it if you're able to win it at a very low tune such as this one, so as to minimize V8 usage and gain more in the event than you use on the car. Because V8s are very valuable because so many really good cars such as the Cinar 1, Aranera Hacera GT, and Corvette Grand Sport use them. We did beat a BMW M2 in this race. Thank you all for watching. Please like the video if you enjoyed it and consider subscribing to see more Asphalt 8 content. And I will see you in my next video. Goodbye!